Hi again, everybody. This is Frank Phillips reporting for Paper News 24/7. We are going to be taking you in just a moment to the Quality Inn in Crawfordsville, Indiana, where Mayor Todd Barton is going to deliver his first State of the City address since becoming mayor. The mayor chose to deliver his address before a meeting of the Crawfordsville Rotary Club. He is going to be introduced by Chris Johnson, who is a member of the club. And now let's go to the Quality Inn and the mayor's address.
On Sunday, the Star had an article about potential grant opportunities that the city, cities like ours might take advantage of, and I took it as a real positive indication that when I walked in Monday and handed the mayor this article, he said, "Yeah, I know about it. I'm going to the meeting tomorrow." It doesn't mean we have it, but he was way more on top of it than I would have expected. And that was very nice to see and a nice change. So, the mayor of the city, Todd Barton.
Thank you. We're trying hard. A lot of hours right now. My wife's not real happy, but my kids think it's awesome. So don't tell them I said that. No, it's great to be here, and I just sit here and think if I had to participate in this Rotarians in the News, I would probably be broke by now. Kind of scary.
You can help Phil Good out.
Yeah, definitely help Phil out there. No, it is great to be here, and I am proud to resurrect what I think should be a tradition that should happen every year. The mayor should give a State of the City, and although the mayor can't touch on everything in 15 to 20 minutes, we can certainly hit the highlights and talk about some of those things. So I must admit that I'm giving my perspective with about 30 days on the job, so take that with a grain of salt. But I do appreciate the Rotary for having me out to do this today. It's very nice of you to do that. And I also appreciate the media outlets for covering this and bringing it to those who cannot be here today. I come before you today to report that although our city's been through some tough times, some challenging times, we're generally in good health and we're generally in good shape. We are fiscally sound, and it appears that we have the potential for some very strong growth and what I think could be a bright future. Much work has been done over the course of the last month, but I'm well aware that there's much more work to be done in the coming months and the coming years. Today, as we sit here, as we look at our community, we realize that far too many people, far too many are unemployed or underemployed. And it's easy to lose track of that. But when you spend all summer going door to door in this community, you don't forget that. Far too many people are not able to make a living as they should be able to. That drives my everyday, and that drives my entire focus. I campaign on the premise of making economic development my top priority. And I'm here to tell you today that's exactly what I intend to carry out. And that's exactly what I've been doing over the last 30 days, with a few extra things thrown in here and there. I believe that economic development, that growing our economic base and putting our people back to work is the foundation on which we must build a better community. A community with opportunity, and a community with the quality of life that we all desire. And today I'm happy to report that we've begun to take the initial steps to accomplish that goal. We've started building that foundation. We're doing the groundwork as we speak. A group of city and county leaders have been working diligently behind the scenes to craft a new approach to economic development. We envision an approach in which we develop a clear, concise plan tailored for our community. A plan that focuses on our strengths, our resources, and potential markets. A plan that streamlines the process and unites our efforts. No longer a city, no longer just a county, no longer all the different agencies, but a unified vision and a unified effort. That vision is truly taking shape, and you will publicly start to see that in the coming days and weeks. This is truly an exciting time, I think, for economic development in Montgomery County. In addition, we've started the process of revamping our web presence to make ourselves more marketable in today's world. We are working to streamline our permitting process, thus making it much easier for someone to open a business and invest in our community. Plans to house the city and county building departments and development officials under one roof are already in the works. Initial meetings have been held, and I anticipate this becoming a reality this spring, thus creating a one-stop experience for those who wish to build and develop within our community. In addition, I plan to host our first ever, as far as I can tell, Economic Development Summit later this month. Agencies and entities that touch on economic development in our community, all of them together in one room at one time, with the initial hope of developing an awareness and understanding of one another and the eventual goal of cooperation and a coordinated effort. In short, there are many different individuals and groups working on economic development in our community, and they're all trying to do the right thing. But we must stop working independently and start working together if we're to have any chance of success in this very, very competitive market. I am optimistic and encouraged by the interest that is being shown in our community by site selectors and potential investors. Opportunities certainly exist, and I'm here to tell you today we are doing everything possible to make sure we position ourselves to be successful. We want to bring those jobs, those businesses, and those opportunities to this community. I'm also glad to report that I've already met with the owners of the Ben-Hur building. Yes, they do exist. I spoke with them again this week on the telephone, and I will be having a conference call with them and some potential investors later on in this week. I am more optimistic than ever that a good, positive outcome is possible with that property. A development that will serve as an anchor and a catalyst for change in our downtown. Our newly elected city council already has their first month's worth of meetings under their belt, and I must say I'm very encouraged by what I see. I am convinced that those 7 men and women have committed to serve because they want a better community. They've committed to serve because they want to see us move forward. They are committed, they engage in civil discourse, and are respectful of one another's views. And I must say, that's a refreshing breath of fresh air in City Hall. And I think it can help resuscitate some of our problems in this community. Our many boards and commissions continue to work hard on behalf of the community. Boards and commissions that are filled by citizen volunteers, hardworking citizens that want to make this community better. They're investing their time and talents to make this a great community. For example, the Redevelopment Commission is working feverishly to make the Ivy Tech project a reality. Much design work has been completed, initial bids have been received, and barring any unforeseen problems, the true groundbreaking should begin soon, with the possibility of a completed building later this year. This will serve as a quantum leap forward for our community, allowing our citizens to acquire the education and skills they need to be successful and improve their lives without having to leave our community to do so. And at the same time, bridge the skills gap that keeps many potential employers from locating in our community. Our city remains overall fiscally sound thanks to the hard work of previous city councils. They painstakingly work to keep budgets in check and within anticipated revenues. We didn't make the mistakes that other communities made. However, I must note that our 2012 budget still has not been approved by the Department of Local Government Finance. And so we are proceeding very cautiously at this point and holding off on major capital expenses until we get that approval. We do anticipate getting that approval any time now. Montgomery County received theirs this week, and we anticipate ours to follow shortly. And although we remain in relatively good fiscal health, we are in a challenging time due to property tax caps. And recent projects have depleted funds that were once considered good go-to sources to make things happen. Funds such as our UDAG fund are sitting perilously low on money. In considering our infrastructure, it is worth noting that the Mill Street and Whitlock Avenue projects are now complete. And we must now determine if we can afford to continue with the long-planned improvement of Elmore Street, a decision that must be made in the very near future. We face the pressing challenge of addressing the erosion and failure of a combined sewer overflow line from North Street to Sugar Creek. This is a 48-inch line adjacent to US 231 and I'm committed to see that the required repairs are done in the most cost-effective manner possible. We must also address the extension of city sewer services to those areas that were annexed into the city just a few years ago. We are currently exploring engineering and financial options to make that a reality, thus completing the work and living up to the promises that were made to those property owners when they were annexed. And of course, we face the issue of blighted areas such as the old Culver Hospital. Under the leadership of Plan Director Brandy Allen, we are assembling a group to begin investigating all of our options. Their goal is to report back to the community and the City Council by next summer. They're to report back with the available options and funding. We as a community, we together, the community and the City Council, must then make an informed decision, and I hope address this problem once and for all. This can has been kicked down the road for about 30 years, and it's time to step up to the plate and face reality. Our departments are functioning with a new sense of vigor, and I think everyone should be proud of the hard work done by our city employees every day to make this community a better place to live and to work. I'm really proud of the professionals that are serving as department heads. They're doing a great job, and I'm very proud of them. I've implemented a meeting schedule by which they are all meeting on a regular basis. No bloodshed. All in one room. It's good. They're meeting and coordinating the efforts of the various departments. And as we're doing that, we're discovering new ways in which departments can work together to make good things happen. They're working hard to provide cost-effective services. New leadership and a new approach have been brought to both our police and fire departments. Training levels are being increased. Our firefighters and police officers are being empowered to build better careers. And most importantly, their safety, along with the safety of our citizens, has become a top priority. Our street department continues to work hard, keeping the streets in good shape and keeping the trash collected. And it's safe to say that snow removal has gone remarkably well this year. Thanks to Mother Nature. I got through the first week with no snow removal complaints, like 50 degrees. Our stormwater department utilized new vacuum collectors to collect leaves this last fall and found it to be very efficient, a very effective way of removing leaves, keeping them out of the storm sewers, and prevent area flooding. They also work hard to continue mapping and cleaning the system that exists. Parks Director Fawn Johnson has been working hard within the Parks Department. She's evaluating programs and taking a serious look at our facilities. I think it's also exciting to note that there's a potential expansion of programs for seniors. A portion of our rec center was previously being leased out. That is no longer the case, and as a result, there is room to offer some of the desired programs for our seniors in the existing building without having to build new. Managers feel good. And the Utility Service Board continued to work hard on the sale of the power plant. Yes, there's been another delay, but I'm very optimistic that this is merely a bump in the road, and that the sale will be completed in the coming months, thus eliminating a liability to the city, resulting in private capital investment and what appears to be good-paying jobs for those who work in the facility. I believe that despite our challenges, we are well on our way to making good things happen. We are currently preparing a letter of intent to apply for the Stellar Communities Grant. This must be completed in the coming days, and since I took office 30 days ago, we're a little bit behind, but that's okay. We've applied a full court press to position ourselves for success in this highly competitive process. We attended the first meeting yesterday, and you could cut the tension in that room with a knife. It's very, very competitive. The Stellar Communities Grant is an opportunity that we must pursue. If successful, it can truly transform our community. And I need only remind you that our neighbors in Greencastle were awarded nearly $20 million from that grant last year. It's a huge, huge impact. And I'm happy to report that we will apply this year, and we will apply each and every year until either we're successful or they tell us to go away and stop applying. In addition, we are preparing to apply for funds to extend the Sugar Creek Trail into the heart of our city. Imagine, if you will, a connection tying our trails together. Imagine, if you will, a connection between the Wabash campus and the downtown. And speaking of Wabash College, I've met with President White, and I'm happy to report that we are both very committed to building a strong relationship between the college and the community. And it's interesting, I heard the mayor of Greencastle speak yesterday and talk about how they finally got it right between the university and the city. They finally built that relationship. I hate to follow them, but we're going to do it. We're going to get it right. This has, of course, only been a brief overview of where we stand as a city. As I stated earlier, we face many challenges. But I think we are taking the steps to begin meeting those challenges, the steps to become successful. And I'm optimistic that good things lie ahead. And oh yes, one last thing. I probably should answer the one question that I'm asked every single day. Yes, Cracker Barrel is still coming as far as we know. They are in the committee process, and it appears that everything is on track at this point. So again, I would like to thank the Rotary for hosting me. I'd like to thank all of you for taking time to attend, and thanks to the newspapers for their coverage. And I'd be more than glad to stick around afterwards, where we have time now, to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
I think we have a few minutes if anyone has any questions for the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Can we expect to see you next year at this time?
I hope so.
Good or bad?
That was a loaded question for a minute.
Good or bad, you know?
No, I will do this annually. This is something that I plan to do every year. When I ran, I released an action plan spelling out everything I would do. I'm happy to report we're right on track with that. I think we might have one thing that I might be a week off, but I have some things that I'm a couple of months ahead on. So this is one thing that I identified in that plan that I would go give a State of the City speech every year. Yes, sir.
Memorial Drive, any chance of that being extended, help alleviate traffic in downtown?
The county is taking the lead on that right now, and I spoke to Commissioner Bain this morning about that issue. They are wrestling with the NDOT folks right now to get a designation for that. As soon as they get that designation, we will be able to move forward. But you can expect that the city will become a partner in that, because I realize the impact that could have with our traffic issue. City and county things are, I hope, better than ever. I spend time talking with commissioners every day. We are working together to make this happen. So we're kind of at the mercy of NDOT right now, and my understanding is that's being held up by an environmental study that can't be completed until next summer. It has to happen at a certain time of the year to evaluate the creek and the woods and everything. So, yes.
What about the blockage by the train from the switch issues?
I'm very well aware that we have an issue, and what we're going to be working on in the coming weeks is a short-term solution to manage traffic when that occurs. I've also have a meeting scheduled with CSX. Don't know how that'll go, but that's at least the first initial meeting. I've had some indirect contact with them through some of the engineering firms, and I think we've made a little bit of headway there, but that's going to be a long-term solution. Yes?
What's all the digging going on out here? In the south line, is that what that Ivy said?
That's the gas line that's going back into
Ivy said?
Commerce Park.
There goes the gas line.
I have a couple of questions. One is on the EDP summit, the Economic Development Summit that you talked about. What types of groups will you be inviting to that? And then my second question is the road where the Walmart store is, or it looks like it could at some point connect to
Right.
47. Are there any plans to work on that?
To answer your first question, as far as who we will be inviting to that, everyone we can think of that touches economic development in any way in this community. And we are working through that right now. Brandy and I met yesterday to talk about that, and we know we're probably leaving some people out, but we're going to keep working through that to try to, and it will be a work in progress. So as we send that out and someone comes forward and says, hey, what about us? Come on, you know. The goal is to get everybody in the same room, because what I'm discovering, which I already knew, is that there are so many groups out there trying to do good things, but they don't talk, and they don't communicate, and there's not a coordinated effort. And this is real simple for me. It's like having a large fire, and everybody's doing their own thing. It's this exact same thing. And I have to get everybody together. And the first step is to at least understand who else is out there, what they're trying to do, what their role is. And when we get through that, then we can start trying to funnel our efforts. And we probably take some steps within city government to streamline some of our stuff. We have to
All right, well, we appreciate you coming, Mayor, and come back anytime.
All right, thanks.
By the way, the plan is that our video will be up on our newspaper website later this afternoon in case you want to review anything the mayor had to say today. If there's nothing else for the good of the cause, everyone be safe and have a great afternoon.